Alright, we are rolling. Hey guys, how's it going? It's your buddy Jake Dominguez back with another movie review. And today I'm going to review Tully, the brand new film from Jason Reitman. This came out just this last weekend, I believe. I had the opportunity to see it, and here is my review. So, Tully, like I said, directed by Jason Reitman, and it was written by Diablo Cody. Am I saying her name right? I'm pretty sure I am. And this is sort of a reuniting, if you will, because these two worked together on Juno many years ago, and that was their big break, and basically, they worked on another movie called Young Adult, which I haven't seen, also starring Charlize Theron, which is very cool, and so all these three are coming back together for this film, and Tully tells the story of a woman named Marlo. I believe that was her name, Marlo, and she is very pregnant. She's married, has a few kids. She has a son who has a special needs of some kind. It's implied that he's on the autism spectrum or something like that. And her life is really pretty difficult. It's not the way she really would have planned. She wants to be the perfect mother, but clearly it's really hard to be perfect in anything, isn't it? And after she has her baby, she starts to suffer from postpartum depression, and it just seems like things are getting harder and harder. Right up to the point where it's recommended that she and her husband hire a night nanny in order to take care of the baby and help her figure out and, basically handle all the other chores and everything she has to deal with in her life. And that's basically the story from there. This is a pretty simple drama. Right away, you could tell the plot synopsis. This isn't very complicated or anything. It's what Jason Reitman and this writer does best. Jason Reitman is really good at creating realistic performances, to the point when you're watching a scene, it doesn't even feel like you're watching a movie scene. It feels like you're almost eavesdropping in on a real conversation. He's really good at that, and it's always good at making it feel really awkward, because Jason Reitman is really great at it almost seems like you're eavesdropping on just happens to be the most awkward part of this character's life, which is seems to be a thing. Same with Diablo Cody, for that matter. Here's the thing, guys. I was looking forward to this movie because I love Charlize Theron. I think she's awesome. I think she's one of my favorite actresses. In fact, look, she's right there on the poster behind me. Yay. I think she's so talented. I'm a huge fan of hers. And I thought the trailers looked good. This definitely intrigued me. But to be honest, I'm not the biggest Jason Reitman fan in the world. Don't get me wrong, he's a really talented filmmaker, just like what I was saying. But a lot of his movies just aren't really for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not my thing. If I'm going to watch a movie, I'm not going to grab one of his. Juno, like I mentioned that film a little earlier, that was his breakout role. Diablo Cody won an Oscar for his screenplay for that movie. And I think that movie's just fine. I like Juno. I think it's, like I said, it's entertaining. It's fine. It's sweet. But I was never in love with that movie as much as other people are. Up in the Air, which is a movie he directed starring George Clooney, I really just didn't get that much into. I didn't really care for too much for that movie. I thought it was very well made and well directed. I thought Clooney was great in it. Anna Kendrick was in it. She did a great job. But I don't know, that movie, I might need to check out Up in the Air again, because I think I might have missed something with that one, but it didn't do too much for me, really. So, I don't know. I know he's a great filmmaker, but overall, his movies just aren't for me. Like I said, I never saw Young Adult, and from what I heard about it, it was just like, I don't know. It sounds like another one I won't be as much into. But I don't know. After seeing this, I'm tempted to check out his other work, because I have a feeling I might be missing out on a great filmmaker's works. Because I really liked Tully quite a bit. I liked it a lot. This is a pretty darn, like I said, well-made movie that almost does feel like you're eavesdropping on this woman's life. I really cared about Marlo in this movie, and the star of this movie, obviously, is Charlize Theron. She steals the show. This is a really great performance. She's been in lots of great movies, done a lot of great performances, but this is one of her best. She is the reason this movie works as well as it does. The rest of the cast is great as well. I think Mackenzie Davis is her name. Am I saying that right? I think that was her name. She was in Blade Runner 2049, and she's really good in this movie as well. I'm looking forward to seeing one more of her work in the future. The cast is great. The writing is really good. There are some times in the dialogue where I don't know, like, the dialogue is a little too self-aware for my taste. Like, Diablo Cody, that's just her style. You know, and for me, I don't know. I don't love that kind of dialogue. It's just not for me again. But in this one, it didn't distract me as much as it did in something like, say, Juno did. Like, for the most part, it had the brakes on, and most of it felt pretty natural and that sort of thing. And overall, this is a very interesting movie because it's hard to talk about without talking about the end. And I'm not going to spoil the end, no spoilers. But Tully, for the most part, is a really awesome movie. It's good. I liked it. But there is a bit of a twist that happens at the end of the movie. And I'm not going to say what it is. I'm going to do my best not to even talk about it. But it's, I don't know. Tully is one of those movies that I understood what it was doing right when it was ending. 20 minutes into it, I was like, okay, I wonder where this is going. Okay. And after a while, it starts to get more and more. And then by the end of the movie, I was like, okay, I understand the message you're going through here. Obviously, this movie is saying a lot of good things about motherhood and how incredibly difficult it is. You really feel bad for this family in this movie because being a parent is awesome, right? I mean, I've never been a parent, unfortunately, but I hope to be a parent one day. And as great as that is, it's incredibly difficult. And I appreciated this movie for showing that and talking about postpartum depression. I mean, I guess it's mostly, a lot of that's more in the background than openly discussed, but you guys know what I mean. I haven't seen a lot of movies handle that subject matter, so I appreciated this film for sort of tackling that. That's not a subject a lot of movies do. It's frankly, I know nothing about that, obviously. So I appreciated this movie for exploring that topic. So this film is obviously exploring those sort of subject matters, but as for this twist ending, it really, by the end of this movie, I completely understood what was going on in terms of the message of this film. But I think some people are going to have a bit of trouble with this ending. I do think that there'll be a little bit of, not controversy, but a little bit of criticism around it. And sure enough, after I saw Tully, went to Google, looked it up, and that seems to be the case. This might be hit or miss for some people. I can see why some people may not like it, but for me, it mostly worked. Because like I said, once the end of the movie happened, I understood kind of what the filmmakers were doing. I'm like, I understand that message. Now I see what all this build-up was for. And I appreciated that. And it's a really gutsy thing for filmmakers to do. So I appreciate Jason Reitman and all of them for doing that. And I don't know, this movie, I do want to see this movie again. The end, as much as I loved the twist ending, I would be lying if I feel like the filmmakers were trying to make it like a, oh my gosh, my mind is blown kind of thing. Kind of similar to like an M. Night Shyamalan twist ending or something like that. I didn't quite have that reaction. For me, it was more of like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, okay, I get it. But I don't know. But that's not the filmmaker's fault. That's probably just me. But anyway, that kind of interrupted myself. I do want to see this movie again, now that I know what the end game is of the film, to kind of see I want to see it again just to see what kind of rings up to there now that I know what's going on. And overall, this film left me a lot to think about. It definitely is a well-made film. I'm not in love with this movie. I think it's good. I think the acting is great. But if you want to have a pretty unique original drama, I think Tully is the one for you. I think people will really love this film. But overall, I liked it. And it does make me want to check out the rest of Jason Reitman's movies that I haven't seen. I'm going to give Tully a B. That's my review of Tully, guys. What did you think of this movie if you've seen it? Let me know down in the comments section below. Thank you so much, of course, for watching this video. It means the world to me. Thank you for your support. If you liked it, if you could please consider liking it, commenting it down below, and maybe even subscribing to my channel. That would be awesome. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for your support. And never forget, I'm your friend, and I'm always going to be there for you. Thank you all so much for being my friends. You guys are the greatest, and I will see you next time.